Pemba, portion of the Tanzanian archipelago of Zanzibar, newly detained a one-week-long fest house show. Culture influences date behind to the 16th age while Portugal colonized the seasoning islands, writes Catherine Tilke. One of the key points of the Pemba Prosperity Fest is this Kairamiza, a dancing martial artwork, that has its origins in partisan learning versus Portugal guideline. Portugal colonized components of the East African shore in the previous 1500s, and Zanzibar remained portion of its imperial power for on 200 year. Kamis Ali Juma, of the Pemba Museum, says Pujanai countryside, wherever the fest was mostly detained, was one of the at first areas to be populated by the Portugal. Female as well get portion in Kairamiza fights, that engage the use of batons in musicians concomitant the contestants. Shoka Hamid, one of the occasion organizers, says how the play is a fight of force and stamina. While you move in the circle, you get on challengers before you sense weary, the victor is the man who shows the largest stamina, he says. This aim isn't to hit or wound yours enemy, but show off yours rate and dexterity. He's probable how players might get strike, but the isn't the purpose of the dancing. Bulls as well characteristic prominently in the fest. Corrida was entered by the Portugal, but it differs of the Spanish release as the aim is not to murder the pet, but to tire it out and amuse the mob. Down there is a faith how the sight brings rainfall and a nice mgunga, reese, harvesting, and so historically bullfights are detained at times of dry spell. Down there has as well been a love item to bullfights, in youthful female hopeful their lovers to get portion to show their courage, though that happens less than so these days. A female would select a new kanga, a colorful fabric normally wrapped up about the waistline, for the struggle and sit on a plate following to the scene to look. If her dandy got via the struggle unharmed, she would offer him her kanga to hold as a prize. A ass parade via a lot of the Isles villages is as well an essential portion of the fest. The riders carry conventional gown and conduct umbrellas, trotting over a yellow metal gang. Donkeys are utilized for transportation and agriculture, and their popularity in the fest key points their essential part on the isle. The umbrellas are as well mined to promote a nice wet time of year. Of donkeys to bicycles as cyclists competitive in a racing of Mkoani, Pemba's seaport city, polar via the rural area. The 87-kilometer, 54 miles, path is exhausting and riders must climb up the isle's highest hillside. It conducted largest competitive environment more than rather than several hours to full. And they are welcome at Vumawimbi bathing beach in Lothoboy and dancing. The female carry the kangas and the men carry whites kikoi, a fabric sarong, as they amuse the crowds at the complete link. The Isles at first marathon runner was as well detained as portion of the festivities. And wrapper it all up is the Ngalawa ship racing. Ngalawas are conventional dug-out canoes of Swahili style in sails utilized by fishermen off Zanzibar. All photos by Catherine Tilke.